never slow up, no I don't take shit, I got no...
Do give superb feel, but of course that will, things will change as they get worn.
Press for the Japanese rider.
Superb stuff, absolutely brilliant. So let's see. I wonder.
Silly Billy, I would call him after that one, but hopefully he learns from that this time around.
As the track dries and the tyres start to move around a bit more and make things fit. What do you think Brian's thoughts are going to be now? Is he going to pass back as soon as he can, or is he going to ride out onto the start and finish to complete lap 2? Carter Thompson's certainly going after Brian Uriel a bit more horrible, even if they are still offering good grip. Sit there. I saw him look over his shoulder and see just how far the others are behind Mitani, as you say, Beate, and Benyat Fernandez is towing the rest of the guys behind him. Veda Pratama is there as well. Matt, he's the quickest man on track at the moment.
I think he's got to keep an eye on his pitboard, hasn't he?
Well, but it's up to Carter Thompson to chase Brian Iriarte.
The benchmark is a 1 minute group. Do you think this is sort of what happens? He's feeling really nervous at lunch. Once he gets into the groove out on track, let's see what the gap is to the riders behind him. If they start to close, he's going to need to make a move and get minute 40 lap time. That's what the leading duo was setting that time around. A lot of others who are a bit more competitive, he knows his conditions really well, doesn't he? Those nerves start to fade, perhaps.
Well, let's hope so.
Back past Thompson, but for now they are still 1.4 seconds back. In 141s, then the chasing group after that 142s basically. If you're in the 143,
there's still 10 laps and a couple of corners to go, but they've been caught, haven't they, man?
Iriarte up across the second intermediate now, and at the other riders they're 1.4 again. You ain't doing anything towards the podiums in this race.
Right, Veda Pratama back
the front then, he is out in front. I do think maybe his airbag didn't go off and he's just been a bit more elbows out, so if a little bit further back as well, so I think he can stick there for now, can't he?
The big overtaking move at the first corner round wide, but he has made it stick now. I think he's up.
There we go. He is leading the way, takes the strip off the radiator.
It'd be interesting to see what the gap now is between Veda Pratama and the leading duo. At the moment it's into third place and going after Carter Thompson. He's relegated Benyat Fernandez to fourth.
Thompson fighting still for second spot with Ramadipa. That dry line well and truly formed in the...
About 1.5 seconds. Oh, and a big slide for Brian Iriarte. That's a warning shot on the number 7.
Imagine Pratama just going to be feeling his way into it, isn't he? Braking zone now. Pratama just off the back of them, closing in as well. Watching. Even set up his airbag actually. I think it might have done. He's looking a bit more, more than used to crazy wet conditions like this from his time. What everybody's doing, he knows how to pick their pocket in the closing stages. Brian trying to make a break for it. Plump.
Chunky.
He's been eating all the pies.
Well,
going up in Indonesia and also in the Asian Talent Cup, they love a wet race or two over there.
And this is a brave move from Brian. He's already had the one warning of a big slide. He knows he's pushing the limit. Of course, these Alpine Stars Tech Air suits are absolutely superb. But of course, if the Tech Air suit...
See that dry line getting thicker and wider every time we come around then. This will be very interesting.
But he also feels that he's got to get away from these guys. He doesn't want it to be a four-man battle over the last guys that you're falling off. And there's somebody way off. Singapore off on the black.
To see how this race changes. 15 laps, even with the short lap time around here, it's a long way to go.
A couple of laps.
Tell you one rider I thought was going to be a bit of a heavier feature in this race. Your pole position sitter can't push it down and
stuff there. Was it actually Hakim Danish? I'm not sure. There's Hakim Danish, number 30. 32 is Kiandra Ramadipa, the other Indonesian here. There he has got past.
In 14th place, battling just for points now, unfortunately for him. He'll be praying for him.
And he is down in 9th place. But say the airbag can go off, of course, the Tech Air suit. Benyat Fernandez down off the waterfall, and
a dry race at the end of play tomorrow.
And Kiandra Ramadipa relegates, but it then deflates itself and you've got a second canister, so you don't have to pull in. Iron is being closed upon by Carter Thompson. Superb stuff from the Australian. Carter Thompson to 3rd place, and he's got his sights set on Brian Iriarte at front. Whatever, retire or anything, you've still got the reserve canister that will look after you. brilliant.
Carter really want to make amends after a luckless Mugello, and it really was that.
And you're on board now with Uriarte, looking back at the 32. You're under pressure. Can he get up the inside?
Yeah, I'm not too sure whether he did or not. He could have just been riding with a bit more of an elbows out riding style, maybe a bit better. He got punted wide at the final corner, effectively crashed, and then seemingly had a mechanical.
No. Brian closes the door.
Yeah, absolutely slams it. Speeds, I'm not sure, but certainly looked up. I'm sure we can ask him after the race, as we do have a changeover from Issue in the second race as well, a rarity in Rookies Cup. Brian takes a look behind, a little bit of a twitch there as he comes out that corner, flicks it right into the waterfall, plunges third place. Ramadipa, the riding who actually won the European Talent Cup race last weekend, sees the big number 50 on his head, and on either side of the front fairing you've got company down. You cannot believe how steep it is here. You know when something's so steep when you're walking down it, he will find himself in third position now. Right in the podium there. First one in with Brian.
He has. And I think, I may be wrong, Matt, but I think he actually got somebody.
Can't help but start a little jog. That's how steep that is.
Going down the hill, yeah. Ahead of the Mugello double winner, Veda Pratama on the 54. So let's see, hit him and broke the clutch lever, I think, actually. That's what happened. I think that's what it was. Yeah, Brian still has the advantage, but it's nothing now, is it, to the 32 of Ramadipa. Ramadipa goes moment. They haven't closed the gap. But
fairly caused by another rider.
Yeah, caused by another rider. But as you say, equally luckless. Anyway, nothing to do with him. Up the inside, but he's got on the wet patch. You see, the dry line offered more grip to Brian Hill, but equally it hasn't really grown either. So interesting to see now that Ramadipa has taken up number 7 of Benyat Fernandez going down the hill, chasing after. He could brake a little bit later, and Ramadipa had to back out of it.
This is absolutely quality, a dead heat.
Spot, can he close the gap on Thompson and Uriarte? In fact, it does look as though they are. Veda Pratama.
The line, it looks, wow, yeah, it was Uriarte, 12 thousandths of a second separating. Yeah, we'll see what happens when they once they come down the waterfall just through turn 11. We'll get them this rider on track last round. You know what, he was doing rather well in dry conditions as well here. The two of them that time around. We have a 4-way fight for the lead, or do we, Peter? Because next intermediate split, it was actually 8/10 of a second at the last one.
Yeah.
So what is it going to be now so far this weekend? And if you look through practices, actually, Peter, the times from there, you do see quite. Gonzalez set a lap there, 1 second quicker than the leaders. So
they're closing.
Closer, isn't it?
Yeah, they are closing. They are closing. Super.